Welcome back. This is part two of the HMEs. As I was saying, there's two types of weight. There's a dry weight and a weight after use. So based on what you saw here with these two different materials, the paper and the sponge, I think it's easy to say that the paper is going to weigh less after, let's say, 6 hours than the sponge will be after 6 hours, because the paper can hold and give more back to the patient than the sponge. And with the sponge, you saw what happened when the liquid ran through to the bottom. And as I said earlier, it would collect at the bottom, and the vapor would turn into a liquid and start decreasing the surface area and increasing the resistance. Surface area is important, as we know, because the smaller the item is that we have to breathe through, the harder it is. And then we go and we use something inferior that furthermore reduces the surface area. That only increases resistance in the work of breathing. So there, like I said, there are two types of weight: a dry weight and a weight after use. So if somebody says, well, this damn thing is too big because it's too big and it weighs too much, the difference between the paper one and this one, we're talking grams. That's the weight difference. This would be way more grams than this. But by the same token, after 5, 6, 7, 8 hours of use, this will weigh a heck of a lot less than this, just because of the performance of the material, the sponge. So I forgot to mention earlier, when I go and do these presentations, I take my trusty crescent wrench so I can just crack these bad boys open and break them up. The other thing is lithium chloride as a material. Now you'll notice the stuff on the side of the container that the HME was in. This is all lithium chloride. It's on my finger. But if your customer is using a sponge material, break the darn thing and have them feel it. The interesting thing about lithium chloride is hours from now, I'll still be able to feel that I have this substance on my hands. So after you're gone and down the road, a couple 100 miles, they're going to be still doing this, trying to get that stuff off. The other thing is that the paper involved with this, and what I'm going to do is, I don't know if you've ever done this, but there's two separate distinct pieces of paper that are wrapped together. So when we get done, we could probably have used this New Year's Eve. So when you get done unraveling this, you don't have inches of material, you have feet of material. And that's quite a visual. So again, the materials are important. Paper with calcium chloride does better than a sponge with lithium chloride. And then you noticed with the AirLife product what they did to hide the deficiency of their product and change the design from this way in and out to this way in and out. So if you have any questions, like I said, give me a call. And before I leave on this subject, I'm just going to talk to you about weight again. When you're using the booster and the T-piece, we are adding weight, and that weight is up by the patient. So what do you think they have to do, or what do you think the respiratory therapist should do with this? You want them to move the arm closer to the patient to minimize the weight of the T-piece and the booster. The orientation of the booster, this is another one that I forgot to mention. The booster will operate in an orientation pointing toward the ceiling like this, You can rotate it. You can use it like this. You can turn it upside down, use it like that. You can do